Hello, everybody that's joining us. Now for today, we are going to do a short little exercise as well as we are going to be doing a big project. So just like how we have always done, we're going to do a short little exercise first, and then we're going to get right into our project for today. All right, we're just going to wait about 3 more minutes, and then we are going to start our day. Now, like if you are just tuning in with us, what we are going to be doing today is we will be doing a short little exercise, and then we will be going straight into our project. Now for today, the first exercise is going to be pretty simple to do. It's basically that we're going to be using a bowl, and you're going to actually make that ball turn into a worm. It's actually going to be looking like a worm, that it's going to look like almost like a slinky. If you guys know what a slinky is, that's basically what your ball is going to turn into, looking like a worm slinky. So that's going to be the first thing that we are going to do. And the second big thing that we're going to do is we are going to make a pie version game. Now, a pi version game is basically going to be using our math symbol of 3.14. We're actually going to be drawing that symbol, and that is going to be just very similar to the game that we did yesterday. The one where we did the paddle and the bowl. Basically, this time, you're just going to see that pi symbol be your main piece, and your paddle is going to be doing that collection of your pi symbol in order for you to get points. And this one's pretty cool to see because you're actually going to see a rain effect. So it's actually pretty cool. I think you're going to like it. The pi symbol is a little bit tricky to draw, but like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Once you guys get more of a steady hand on this, it's going to be a lot simpler for you to be able to do. Just going to give 2 more minutes and then we can start. Also at this time, to save a little time on yourself to make sure you are done and ready for us to start, please, please, please make sure you are signed into your Scratch account and already have created an account so we can start our project, okay? So you don't have to tell me that you were unable to log back in, you know, we're nice and ready to start. Just right now, what you're looking at is the Scratch page. I know a lot of you yesterday said, how do I get to that page? If you do not have an account, this is not going to be able for you to have your own project space. So you do need to make sure that you have an account and save it so you're able to save those projects so you're able to go to it at another time. Also at this time, a big shout out to Clarusway for allowing us again to be doing Scratch. Thank you for allowing me to teach you, and as well as them for allowing you guys to be learning this program. All right, so we are going to start right now. I am going to go to our PowerPoint so you guys are aware of what we're going to be doing, and then we're going to go straight into that small little exercise. All right, so day 4. Wow, already day 4. All right, so today, this is going to be our quick little challenge problem, okay? We are actually going to be making a worm. Like I said, it's almost going to look like a slinky, and it's going to be moving around, and we're going to be able to create this. So what you're going to do, let me first get our things started, okay? Now, what you're going to do is we are going to be importing a baseball, a basketball, okay? And what you're going to do is we're going to actually make it look like a worm that is going to be able to follow your mouse pointer like we did a little bit yesterday. So we're going to try that today. So just give me a second. All right. So the first thing you guys do need to do before we start is get rid of Mr. Cat. We do not need our cat for this. So we are going to get rid of that cat. We do not need him. Now also, if you guys are noticing that you are seeing some buttons that are not available, there are 2 things that you're possibly doing wrong. Number 1, my problem is I do not have a sprite, so there is nothing for the motion code to be able to work. So that is one of my issues. But if you guys are doing your codes into your backdrop option, you're also going to see that message appear. So please, please, please just make close attention as of where you are putting those pieces, okay? So I'm going to go to the bottom and I'm going to choose a sprite. And they said that they want us to use either the baseball or the basketball. I'm going to use the basketball for this one. You guys, if you want to use the baseball is going to work just as well. Now, it should also work with just that plain ball, but I have never used that one before, so I'm not 100% if it's actually going to work. Okay. So now if everybody is tuning in, we are creating that snake worm type of image, okay? It's kind of going to look like a slinky. So what you're doing right now is you're just going to be picking one of those selections of your choice, either a baseball or a basketball, all right? So once we have that, you can also get in the habit of choosing a background. You do not have to do this. I'm going to choose a background. I am going to be doing the blue sky just so it has a little bit more of a color. If you guys want to use something else in there as well, you're more than welcome to do that as well. But we are not coding the backdrop, so you do not need to worry about it too much. All right. Now that we have our ball, we are going to start by doing our coding section. The first thing that you are going to need is in our events, like we always start, and we're going to use that when clicked option. Just going to make it a little bit bigger so you guys are able to see it. All right, I'm just double checking to make sure everybody looks like they're fine. Good. All right, once we have that when clicked, we are going to go to that control section. You are going to select forever. And you're also going to create one that is, you're also going to select the one that says create clone of myself, and you're going to place that inside forever's belly. Okay, so that one's very easy, very small part. It's going to be very tiny on that. There's not that many parts for this, guys, so we are going to be moving straight to the next one. I'm just going to move this aside. Space is very tiny. I see today it's very, very tiny. There we go. Okay, now it's a little bit bigger. All right, so now I'm going to start another one. Now remember, you don't need to put it in the same placement as where I am putting them. You can use it wherever space is available for you. I'm just going to do it underneath for the next one, and then I'm going to use this space available here so you guys are able to see it the same view as what the PowerPoint view would be showing, okay? So the next one we are going to do is we are going to be in that control section. We are going to select at when I start as a clone again. This is going to be a separate one. It's not going to be in that first one. And we're also going to select a forever button. All right. So now that we have that forever button, all the next parts we're going to find in our motion. We're going to go to our motion. You are going to select that move 10 steps. We're going to change that to say 1. And we're going to place that in that forever's belly. We're also going to do one that says point towards mouse pointer. Okay, nice and easy. We don't need to change anything, so we can place that inside its area. And the last one for that section is if on the edge, bounce. And we're going to place that underneath. Looks like everybody's good so far. Perfect. This one, guys, as I can see, the questions are starting to get smaller on there. So I'm liking that because you guys are able to find those pieces a lot faster. All right, perfect. So now that we have it, we only have 2 more to go. So wow, look at that. So the next one that we do need is back in our events. We are going to select that when clicked. Now I'm going to place this up on the top. You guys, like I said, you can place it anywhere as long as the code is correct and you're not placing it in one of the ones that we just did. That is fine. We're also going to go to our control section. You are going to select that forever option. You're going to place that underneath. Just going to give you guys a minute because I know I'm going a little bit quick, but it looks like everybody's good. Oh, I see one thing. Hold on. Okay. When I start as a clone, guys, is going to be in your control. It's towards the bottom, guys. That one's all the way on the bottom. Okay, that is towards the bottom. It's all the way. It should be right before delete this clone. That's where it should be. So you should be able to see that. All right. Once we have that forever, we are going to go into our motion section. You are going to select that move 10 steps. We are going to change that to say 6. And you're going to place that in forever. Now, right now, I did click mine. Now, you are going to notice that your ball is going to be starting to do something. Don't worry about it just yet, okay? He's just basically moving because that is the section that I did click by clicking it. So don't worry about it just yet, okay? Sometimes I like to test it out just to see if everything is starting to work, or sometimes I don't like to do it and wait until the end, okay? So it's up to you if you want to test it out. Once we have that move, we're also going to select another point towards mouse pointer, and you're going to place that underneath. I'm just going to move this so you can see the more of a better view. Once we have that, oh, I see your hand raised. Just give me a second. HP, yes.
Am I going ahead or something? Because I already have the warm effect and it's complete.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it looks the same as it's supposed to be at the end.
I don't know. Yours is working perfect. Then that's perfect. Yes. Are you seeing what it's looking like on mine right now, that it's starting to multiply and start to make that image?
Yeah, it's exactly
okay.
like that.
Yeah, so yours is starting to work properly. So that is perfect. It's not complete, but it's getting there. Okay, guys, just give me 1 second. I see you guys are asking. Okay, perfect. Yours is working. Good, guys. It should be starting to work. It's not properly there. But like I said before, mine was, I just clicked the 1. Now you remember, if you hit that flag directly on everything, that means everything is going to be activated and everything is going to start. If you are hitting just that certain section, only that part of that code is actually going to work. So just remember that too. When you are coding certain things, that you are activating everything all at once rather than one certain part. Okay, yours is working. Good, guys. So it's starting to work. I like that it's starting to work. Good. All right. So once we have that point towards, we also are going to be in that motion section. You are going to select the one that is turned down, and it's going to have a number, and then it's going to have a degrees. Don't place it there just yet, because we're going to do just like yesterday. We're going to go to our operators, and we're going to use that pick random option. So I'm going to move this over so you guys can see the numbers better. Now the first number is going to be a -30. And the second number is going to be a +30. And you're going to take that and you're going to place that underneath. Okay. You don't really need to see that word degrees on there. Mine is a little off because it's showing the screen, but it is there. Okay. All right. Okay. So guys, let me finish this, and then if you guys are still having issues, then we can address it, okay? Right now it's because there is only one more part for there and then a little small section, okay? So the next one that we do need is, we are gonna go back to our motion. You are gonna select if on the edge, bounce. You're gonna take that and you're gonna place that underneath that turn option. There is only one more little small section, okay, guys? This one was pretty easy. The short exercise was very short. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this. All right. Now for the next one, it's pretty simple because it's all gonna be in control. I'm gonna go to control. You're gonna use when I start as a clone. You're also gonna use that wait button. We don't need to change anything, so nice and easy. And the last one is going to be delete this clone. You're going to take that and you're going to place it there. Now that is done and complete of the code itself. Now I know some of you guys were saying that you were having some issues with your worm. It should work properly by now, okay? Sometimes when it's doing it and you're only hitting it one part at a time, that is going to have that activation only happen for that certain part. So it's best that you guys are hitting that flag all together. So this is everything. Everything is activating properly on mine, and it is able to follow my mouse pointer and go around, and it is actually looking like that slinky effect. All right. Let me just double check on there. Guys, at this time too, you should be saving it. Can I change the color of the worm? The only way that you're going to be able to change the worm is if there was a costume, okay? And you would be able to change the color on there. Now, you probably could do something of, if you were to do like a rainbow effect or something on there, you possibly could be able to change the color as well. But the main thing is if you do that next costume, that option is a lot easier for you to be able to change that color. But unfortunately for the baseball or the basketball, it only has one costume, so you are not going to be able to change that color. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, I am going to be saving this. I'm just going to double check on here, and then we are going to be creating a new one in a second. Okay. All right. Also, if you guys were not able to, if you did come to our course a little bit late, guys, please make sure you are coming as early as 12 o'clock, because when it is 12 o'clock, that is when I do start, okay? That is the time that we do start, so you guys are able to get this information as well, okay? So it is important to make sure you are coming on time so you're able to see this. If you were not able to do it, what I'm going to do is just make sure you save this, okay, as much as you could. And if you need me to go back to that PowerPoint and get that information, I can, if we have time towards the end of the class or next week's session, okay? So please let me know. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you guys what you guys did, okay? Here is your code for that. All right, and we are gonna start our first game, okay, for the big project for today. So just give me a second. I'm going to go back. Okay. I did save mine, so I am going to go to a file new. Okay. Only go to a new one once you have that file saved. Okay, guys. Don't run into that issue that you did all that work and then it's going to be gone. So guys, at this time, you are going to get rid of your cat once you have a new selection. Okay. So we do not need our cat for this. I am going to go to the PowerPoint so you guys are able to see what we are going to do. Now, guys, this is that symbol that I was talking about, this pi symbol. This is the symbol in math that we use 3.14, okay? This is going to be that symbol. Now, remember, does yours have to look exactly like that? It can look very similar to it, but it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect for this. Just give me a second, okay? Now this is going to be the backdrop option that we are going to be using for this. And we're also going to be doing a paddle. So we are going to be having a backdrop, okay, your background. We're also going to have our pi symbol, and we also are going to have your paddle, okay? So I'm going to do the first step. I'm going to do the hard step first, okay? I'm going to do that hard step first, and then we're going to do that easier one. So I'm just going to move this, guys. Just give me a second. I'm just going to adjust everything. All right. All right, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the hard part first, and then I'm going to do the easier parts. So the first hard part is I am going to make sure that cat is gone first, okay? But I am going to use that paintbrush symbol in my script section, okay? And I'm actually going to be drawing that pi symbol first. This is the hard part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to select the color that I wanted. So now I'm going to do the pi symbols. So now the pi symbol that they use is the color orange. I'm going to use orange as well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to select the color orange. You guys can use a different color if you guys would like. Okay. I'm going to try to do orange for mine. That's more red. You know what? I'm going to do it easy. I'm going to do the color pink. Pink is my favorite color, so I'm going to use pink for mine. All right. So now that I have that pi symbol, I'm going to be drawing that right now, okay? And I did select that color pink. You guys can use whatever color you want for yours. All right. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to use the option of the paintbrush. And I'm also going to be making my line to at least a 40. Whoa, I made it super big. I'm going to make it a 40. That way I know my line is going to be a lot easier Now, remember, if you guys want to do using the line options, you have the shape options as well, you can. I'm just going to use the paintbrush option and do it as well, okay? So I'm going to start by making my line across. Now I'm going to make it a little shaky a little bit on there. Yours doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to actually make this line go down to look like the letter J. Okay. And then I'm going to take a diagonal line and I'm just going to make that line go out. And I'm going to kind of give it a little curve at the end. Okay. So that is going to be my pi symbol. I'm going to go on the PowerPoint view so you guys are able to see. I know some people are going to be better at drawing than others. Okay. That is the symbol that they did. Okay. I did mine a little bit curvy at the end, but it is either way, it's going to be fine for you to be able to do. So I'm going to go back to my view in a second. Okay. I am also, let me double check. Yes. Okay. Now I am going to change that sprint number 1 to say ball. Okay. That way I know that is going to be my ball in my game, and it's going to be able to help me later on once I am doing the codes. So I do understand what exactly is being done for those particular codes. Okay. So that is the first step. Once you drew your image, I am going to be getting another sprit as well for this. Now for this sprit, it is going to be the paddle. I'm going to either, let me see for directly on the PowerPoint for a second. I'm going to go back a minute. Now the paddle that they did match that paddle to be the same as their ball. That is something if you want to do it as well. So that is going to be something I'm going to do. I'm going to use my paintbrush option and I'm just basically going to draw that line. Now mine is very shaky, so I don't actually like it. There is actually a way that to go back. If you hit that back arrow, it's going to be able to erase it. I'm going to use that line option to make mine straighter. Now guys, if you are using that line option, you are going to notice that it's going to be a black line. I don't want mine to be like that. So I am going to try to see if I'm able to change it to the color pink. Okay, and I'm also going to make that line to be a 40 because I want it to match the last previous one that I just did. And I'm going to take it. Now it is black. You know what? I'm actually going to keep it as black, I think. Let me see if there is if I'm able. That doesn't match my color, so I don't want that. I'm going to see if I'm able to match it. Now remember, you guys can match it by going to your colors, okay, and match your color. Let me see if I'm able to match it. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit different color. I'm just going to do this color. Okay. If it is in your backdrop, I see someone said that theirs is in your backdrop. What you would be able to do is if you are in your backdrop option, okay, whoops, I'm in my backdrop option. If you click your backdrop option, you're going to notice this here. What you're going to do is you either can use that back option and erase it completely. That is going to be a lot easier. Or what you're going to have to do is you're going to import your backdrop and then delete the first one that is the blank one. And then you're going to be able to do that and add that. My best suggestion would be is to, since we just started this, start over. Okay, start over on that. Okay, that weird symbol, everybody's asking about that weird symbol. That weird symbol is at 3.14. That is going to be the symbol that you guys are drawing. Okay, that is the image that you guys are drawing. Now, I did change that one to say ball. Now, for my paddle, I am going to say, for it to say paddle. So I am going to change that to say paddle. So we have the bowl and the paddle. Now, if you guys want to use the paddle that is imported already into the system, you can use that one, or you can either draw it. I drew mine. Also, please don't make sure it's in that backdrop because we are going to include a backdrop as well, but don't draw it in your backdrop option. So I am going to choose also a backdrop. So I'm going to click the backdrop option. Okay. Now the one that they use, I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint view. Okay. It is like an undersea backdrop. Okay. Now looks like they drew some of those images in there as well. You can also add those drawing images as well if you guys want. So I'm just gonna see under, oh, my spelling right there. Okay, I'm gonna actually use underwater 1, and it actually is going to match perfectly. Okay, it is actually gonna match perfectly. Just give me a second. I see the chat. Somebody is writing something. What kind of bowl is that? Okay, the symbol, guys, it's a weird bowl. It is going to be that pi symbol, okay? That is our math symbol of 3.14. It is a weird looking image, okay? But it is actually a real image that they use. I use the color pink for mine. You can use whatever color you want for yours. Just make sure you do have a paddle and rename it to say paddle. And you do want to rename your weird looking symbol of the pi symbol to be as a bowl, as well as having a backdrop. Now I am going to go to my backdrop option and delete that first backdrop so it does not have that blank screen, and it's just showing that underwater screen as well. Okay, so you want to make sure that it's also looking like that on yours as well. I'm going to give you guys a minute just to be able to put all those things in there. All right, guys. So once we have that, we are going to be able to start our coding section. So do make sure that you are having your backdrop, okay? You also drew your pi symbol, okay? Or you also drew your paddle if you chose to, or you imported one from what they had already done for you. What I'm going to do first is, let me see, pi symbol has a lot of parts and paddle only has one. So I'm going to actually do the paddling program first, and then we'll do the ball, the pi symbol, because there is a lot more steps. And if you are trying to catch up and you need that extra time, that way it's a lot easier to do the easier one first, and then we'll work with the hard one. So once you have that, guys, we are going to be starting with our paddle first, and then we'll do our ball. I'm just double checking to make sure everybody looks like it's okay. Good. Okay. So I'm going to go to my coding section once I do my paddle, and we're going to start with that one first. So the first thing you do need is in our events, and it's going to be that when flag clicked. Okay. We have that when flag clicked. You're also going to need in our motion section, it's going to be set rotation style, don't rotate. Towards the bottom, it's going to say set rotation left and right. You are just going to change it to say don't rotate and then connect those two together. Everybody looks good so far. Nobody has their hand. Let me just make sure there's questions. Nope. Good. So far it's easy. Once we have that, we are going to go to our control, and you are going to select that forever option and place that underneath. And the last one that we need for this is going to be in our motion, and it's going to be go to mouse pointer. It's going to say go to random position. Just click it down to say mouse pointer and connect those together. Looks like everybody's good so far. Awesome. So this one, very simple. That one was a very short one. The next one is going to be where we're going to be doing a lot more for coding section. I am going to click onto our ball for this one. Okay, so now we're done with paddle. If you need me to go back to paddle, please either write in the chat so I know that I need to go back to at any point back to that one. Okay, so I'm going to go to the ball for this one. All right. Now for the first one, we are going to go back to our events. We are going to use that when flag clicked. Now there is a lot of materials for this, guys. There is a lot of materials. The next one that we're going to need is we're going to go to our variables. We are going to make a variable. You are going to write the word score. Make sure it is for all splits. And then you're going to press OK. You're going to take that and we're going to select the one that says set my variable. Select that down and say score, and then it's going to be 0. Give me a minute. I see you guys are back to the paddle. I will go back to paddle for a second. Hold on. I'm just giving that student in a second just to look over for paddle a minute. Let me know when you need me to go back to the other one, okay? Just let me know. All right. Sarah, if you need me to go back to that paddle, let me know towards the end, okay? I'm just going to go back to our ball so we can continue, okay? If you need me to go back at the end, I can, okay? I'd rather go back to that one than the bigger one, okay? All right. So now that we have that set score to 0, we are going to go to our motion. Okay, you're done. Perfect. We are going to select that go to X and Y. Now your first X is going to be 0 and your Y is going to be a positive 300. You're going to take that and you're going to connect those pieces together. All right, looks like everybody's good so far. Super. Somebody need me to go back to paddle? Yes, I can go back for a second. I'm going to go, guys, back to the ball. If you need me to go towards the paddle, I will do that towards the end, only because the pie does have a lot of codes, okay? And I don't want us to get left behind on that. Okay. All right. So once we have that go to 0 and 300, we are going to go to our looks. We are going to select the one that says set size to 50%. It's going to say set size to 100. Just change that number to say 50, and then you're going to be able to connect. Looks like everybody's good. Super. All right. We also are going to use that option where in that look section where it says hide. So we're going to take that and you're going to place that underneath. That one was a lot easier because it's right there. Once we have that, all the next parts are going to be in our control. So we're going to go to our control. You are going to select that forever option. You're going to connect those together. We're also going to use that create clone of myself. Connect that in its belly. Now look, you see how I try to connect it and put it inside. If it doesn't fit in completely, that is going to be a big issue, okay? So you do want to make sure they are connecting in there. And we also do need that weight button. Now we are going to change that weight 1 sec. It is going to say 0.2. Make sure you have that point in there. Otherwise, it is going to be incorrect. Just double checking. It looks like everybody's okay with that. This part is a lot easier. Super. It looks like everybody's good. Okay. So that is one part that for us to be able to do. Now, I'm going to do the easier part next, and then we'll do the big part towards the end. Okay. Now, I'm going to place this underneath here, guys. And then I'm going to use the big part towards the other side. Okay. So for this one, I am going to go to my events for this one. I'm going to use the one that says, it's going to say when I receive. It's going to say when I receive message 1. Going to click that down. We're going to hit that new message and we're just going to write change score. Now my lettering looks a little bit off right now. Change score. And then I'm going to press OK. So it's going to say when I receive change score. Okay. So once we have when I receive change score, we're also going to go to our variables. And you are going to select the one that says change my variable. And we're going to select that option down to say score. And we're just going to leave it as a 1. So that one's pretty simple on there. All right, guys. So that's going to be the easy part. Now we're going to get into the harder part. Now for this one, we haven't used this button. So please, please, please make sure you're following along, okay, on this one. All right, guys. I'm going to continue. So now for this one, we are going to be using a different block, okay? We are going to be using the block that says My Blocks, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to hit that button where it says My Blocks, all right? And what you're going to do inside that box area, you're actually going to write bounce up, and then you're going to press OK. So it's going to say define bounce up, okay? Don't select one of those inserts towards the bottom because it's just going to double that information, and we don't want that information to be there. We just want it to say bounce up, okay? That is going to give you guys that effect that it is going to be bouncing from the bottom to the top. Your ball disappeared, guys. Your ball is going to be disappearing. Don't worry about it. What it's doing right now is it is starting to activate. It's starting to go towards the top of your screen, okay? Mine is shown right now because I didn't start my program. Don't worry about your ball disappearing. You are fine. It's just going to give you that rain effect once your game is done and complete, okay? How do you do everybody says, what do we do? Guys, you're gonna go to my blocks, make that option where it says make a block, erase what that word, whatever it said in there, and then you're just gonna write the word bounce up. Okay, all right. Once we have that defined bounce up, we are gonna go to our sound section. Now your sound section is gonna be the sound space ripple. Right now, mine says play sound pop. We are gonna not need that sound, so I'm gonna go to the top sound. Delete that sound pop and go towards the bottom. Now I'm gonna click that little box and I'm actually gonna write space ripple, and I actually see if I'm just typing a little bit, I'm gonna actually hit that one. Now you guys can test that sound out for you to be able to see it. Now, if there is a different sound that you do like more than this sound, you can place that sound in there, okay? Or what you could do is you can follow along with me the way that I do it, and then you can actually go back at it, okay? So you can do that as well if there's a different sound. Once I have that, we're gonna go to our coding section. And you are gonna select the one that is play sound space ripple. It's gonna be in there. Now you can do the one that says play space ripple until done, or you can also use the option where it says start sound. I'm gonna use that play sound until done option. Just gonna make that a little bit smaller so you guys have a better view of seeing everything. Once we have that play sound, you are gonna go to our looks for the next one. It is going to be change color effect by, and it is going to be 25. So we do not need to change anything for that. All right. So once we have that change color, you are going to go to our control for the next one. Now we are going to select repeat until. Just give me 1 second. I'm just double checking to make sure everybody is okay. Everybody looks like they're okay. We're going to use that repeat until. Now, guys, you're going to see a repeat 10. We do not need that. We do need the one that says repeat until. Once we have that repeat until, we are going to go to our operators. We are going to select that little mouthpiece that is going to be, you know how we use in math that less than, equal to, and greater to. We're going to be using the math symbol. The top one, okay? We're gonna use that top symbol. I'm just gonna make it bigger so you're able to see it, okay? The one where Mr. Crocodile is eating that bigger number, okay? So we're using that greater symbol. Now, we're gonna change that second number where it says 50. We're gonna change that to say 180, but we're also gonna add another piece into that first box before we actually put it in that repeat until button. Now we're gonna go to motion for that. It's gonna be towards the bottom. We're gonna use the one that says Y position. So we're gonna take that and you're gonna place that in there, and then you're gonna be able to connect those pieces in there. Okay, so you're able to connect everything all at once. I like to do each piece by piece because it's a lot easier. All right, so once we have that change Y, guys, the next part is going to be in motions. Easy, we're right there already. So we're going to also use the one that says change Y by 15. So it's going to be change Y by 10. Just change that number to say 15. And you're going to take that number and you're going to place that underneath. All right. Once we have that, we are going to go back to our events. You are going to select the one that is broadcast change score. And you're gonna take that, and now we're not gonna put it underneath that change. We're gonna put it under that little loop over there. All right, it looks like everybody's okay, perfect. So we have that broadcast change score. All right, so there is only 2 more for that, and then we only have 1 more big section that we have to be done and complete. Now for the next one, it is going to be in our looks. It is going to be that option where it's going to say hide. I'm going to take that hide and you're going to place that over there. And we're also going to go to our control and we're going to use that delete this clone. You're going to take that and you're going to place that there. So that one was nice and easy. I'm going to just give you guys a minute just to catch up on there because we did do a lot on that part. And there is only one more big section for us to be done and complete. And I'm just going to adjust these guys just so I have more space on here. I made them pretty big so you are able to see it. And I should be able to add and include all the rest of it in that one little section. All right. So for the next one, it is going to be first start off in our control section. It is going to be when I start as a clone. I'm going to place that over here. The name of this project, guys, is Pi Catch. P-I Catch. Okay, that's going to be the Pi Catch. Once we have when I start as a clone, we are going to go to our looks and we're going to find the button that says show. I'm going to take that show and you're going to place that next underneath. So we have that button show. After that piece, we are going to go to our motions. You are going to select go to X and Y. I'm going to place this here, guys, just to the side because we are going to pick a pick random in our operators. So we're going to take that pick random and we're going to place it in the first box. Now, our first number after our pick random is going to be a -240. And our next pick random is going to be a 240. It's going to be that positive number. And that Y is going to be 180. And you're going to take that. Whoops, sorry guys, I moved it for a second. And you're going to take that and you're going to place that underneath. I'm going to try to make this a little bit smaller, guys, so you guys are able to see it. And I make it a little bit bigger so you guys are able to see. I'm just going to place it here so you guys are able to see that last part. If you need me to go back to any of the other parts, please let me know. I'm just adjusting it so you get a better view at it. Once we have that, you are going to go into your forever button. Okay, your forever button, which is going to be in your control. You're going to take that forever. You're going to place that and connect those. Now, for the next one, we are going to go to our motion. You are going to use that change Y by. And we're going to change that to say -7. You're going to take that and you're going to place that inside. Just want to make sure. All right. So once we just did that change Y, we are going to go to control for the next one. We are going to select an if then. Remember, do not hit the one else. We just need that if then. Now for this if then, it should, let me just make sure for the placement. Forever, it is going to touch that change option, okay? It is going to touch that change option. So make sure it's inside that area, okay? Now we are going to be putting a sensing button in there for a second. So after we did that, we are going to go to our sensing. Now you are going to select that option where it's going to say touching mouse pointer. I'm going to place it here for a second just so I can have that down option. And it is going to say touching paddle. Now, if yours is not saying that word touching paddle, that means that you did not rename it in the beginning. Ahmed, I see your hand. Just give me 1 second. Ahmed, yes.
I lost my ball.
You lost your ball. Your ball is hidden. You did not lose it. It's fine.
I clicked show, but it's not coming back.
No, you're fine. It's supposed to be hiding up on the top. It should be okay. iPad, yes.
When I do it, all of my pie ball things just fall in the same place. Also,
They fall from the top, or are they falling from the top, or they're not falling at all? Like, what's going on? Let me see if
No.
I'm hitting mine. Hold on one second. Let me just take this chat off. Let me see. Because this is what you should be seeing right now. Are you
Yeah,
seeing?
all of my ball things just fall at the exact same place. They're falling from the top, but they're falling at the exact same place.
They're not. Oh, so yeah, they're not moving. They're supposed to be moving elsewhere. It's supposed to be all over the place.
Yeah, it's just going on the right side.
Right in the center. Yeah, right in the center, you're saying.
No, on the right side, all of them.
Oh, on the right side. Okay. Just give it a second. That might be something I might have to double check to see on yours. Wait until the codes are done and see if there is a problem. Sometimes, like I said, if you are testing it before the actual code thing is done, that can run into an issue.
Okay.
Okay. Just give me a second. Let me find where you are.
Wow, mine still is 54 and 80.
Laugh, I see. 1 second. All right. Laugh. Yes, laugh.
When I press the start button, the pi symbols go right through my paddle,
And it's not touching it.
and the score is still at 0.
And the score is that's there. Wait until the end. I'm going to check and see. Something might be off, okay? Yeah, yours too. All right. So now that we have that touching paddle, we're going to go and find that button in My Blocks for the next one. We are going to use it where it's saying bounce up, and you're going to place that in that area where we have that space. So I'm just going to move this down so you guys can see it. Give me 1 second. Somebody's is coming from one side. Okay, we have that bounce up. Now, once we have that bounce up, we are going to go back to our control. Now, for the control, it's going to be an if then. Now, you're going to place this not under bounce. You're going to do it where it's going to have a line in front of it that you know that you placed it correctly. So we have that if then. Now for this one, there is going to be a couple of parts to this. We are going to need an operators first. We are going to be doing that less than symbol, okay? And we're also going to need in our motions that Y position. We're going to take that Y position. We're going to place that in the first box, and then we're going to change that second number to a negative 150. You're going to take that and you're going to place that in that space that is available to us. Okay. Now there is only one more part for the code that we need for there. It is going to be that delete this clone. Now that is going to be in our control. Delete this clone. You're going to place that in that little space there. Give me a second. I see you guys are using the chat. Hold on. Can you go down? You need me to go all the way down? I'm going to see you guys if I can make it smaller that you can see everything. Hopefully you're able to see all the codes at once. Now, once that is there, guys, you should be able to have your game working. Double check to make sure everything is working, that you are able to get that score and that you're able to get that paddle being able to be moved around as well. Let me see if mine is. Okay. Yes, mine is working fine. I can definitely see on mine. So guys, double check your scores. If your scores are not getting those points on there, there might be that you accidentally did the code incorrect. So do make sure you are checking that. All right, guys, give me a second. I see there is a lot of chats. Let me just read them over. My score still doesn't work. Laugh. Oh no. Yes. Yes, you are right. Yes. Betul. Yes.
So I got rid of the when I received change score, and I just did it again, and still isn't working, and everything looks correct.
Now you're talking about your score is not changing, correct?
Yeah, it's not changing, and my codes are all correct. Like,
Okay, so just make sure when you are doing that, I'm going to go back for a second. When I receive change score, you're doing that in broadcast, okay? You're doing that over there when I receive change score. Just make sure that it is a new message. Did you do it through a new message?
No, let me try that again.
Yeah, double check on there because that could have been one of the issues that you did it. Somebody open the pad. 1 second, Richard. I'm going to do your paddle in a second. There you go. YB, yes.
And now it does. I fixed my problem, but now it doesn't show my score.
It's not showing your score, meaning that your score is not showing into your game, or it's not giving you a score.
It's not giving me a score.
Okay, same thing like another student was on there. You might have to just make sure you're doing that part again. Go back to your events, do a new one that says when I receive change score, place that in there, and then as well as your change score, and see if it's able to change it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's only one step on there. That is not going to take a lot of steps. Barack said it's not giving us points, but our code looks good. Okay. If your code is not able to give you points, guys, you might have to just redo that step and check in there. Okay. Just double check to make sure that your score and your thing is showing that you did it correctly through your broadcast. Okay. Just double check that last one, because if your scores are correct, your codes are correct, you should be able to get it done. That's the school is still not working. I'm not sure why. Let me go back onto here, guys. I'm going to put this on a bigger view so you guys are double checking. Okay, this is the first part. This one, now everybody here that's having a difficulty with their score, you do have a scoreboard showing, correct? You should have that. This is the part where everybody is going to have the most difficulties. You do need to make sure, this part right here, guys, this is the part where you need to make sure you're rechecking this. Because if you're not able to get that change score, this is the reason behind it. Okay? HP, yes.
I brought my paddle size to 813, and I did the change score by 5 billion.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So your score is
I can't even know what number that is. It's probably in the trillions by now.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. But that's good that you did that. Cool. All right, guys. I'm just going to go back to the view, guys, of the one that I just did. Yes, I'm making sure that the bounce up has to be capital. Go back to which code, Sarah, do you need? Okay, you need me to, somebody needs me to go back to the code, the one before. Now for the bounce up, I mean, no, because their bounce up, they have all lower cases. I put from, it might have to be, yeah, try that again. Check and see if that bounce up is as well. They have it, everything as lowercase. You guys can save at any point. That's fine. You can save it at any point. You can save this one as pie catch. You can name it anything you want for that. Which code now, Betul? Just make sure, yeah, make it that it doesn't have to be a capital B on there. All my codes are correct. Laugh. So laugh, you're not able to get a score. Okay, so your scoreboard is not working. You're seeing a scoreboard. It's just your score is not working on there. Yeah, okay. Just double checking. I'm trying to see if I'm reading. Let me go back to the PowerPoint view, guys. I'm just going to go back for a second. I'm trying to see to make sure if any of the points that, okay. Make sure, guys, oh, that can be one of the issues here. Right here where my mouse is, guys. Make sure that broadcast change score is there as well. That is another thing. If you're not seeing that message broadcast change scores on there, double check and put that part in there as well. Okay, make sure you are putting that in there, because if you're not seeing that broadcast change scores, it's not going to be able to work. So double check that part as well in your code. Take that section out and then replace it and put it in there, and then try to redo it again. That's another issue that can be a big issue. Okay, yeah, check that. So you see the part where I'm showing you where my mouse is right now, where that broadcast changed score, okay? What I'm telling you to do is I'm asking you to try that piece again. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna repeat the step from there, and then you're gonna take those pieces out once you make that pieces. But when you are making that broadcast change score, you're going to make it look a little bit different from the way that you wrote it before. So meaning, like, if you're looking at it right now, you see how it's an uppercase letter for the C. Maybe you make them all lowercase letters, or whatever way that you wrote it, you want it to look a little bit different. Then you're going to be able to hit that little piece and change it and see if that is able to make that effect of your being able to change that score. All right, guys. So what we're going to do right now is I do want you guys to save your project as well. Okay. I do want you to save your project as well for this. I'm just going to call mine Pie Catch. Now, I know there are a lot of students that their score was not able to work on there. I'm going to try to see if I'm able to fix that issue. It's very hard for me to be able to see what is, you know, you're telling me that the codes are correct on it. There might be something that you might have did incorrectly. So if you are having difficulties and you're not able to get your score to be able to change, I do want to make sure that you are letting me know. I know some on the top of my head of who was having issues on that. So I'm going to be able to do the last day of our session to be able to look that project over and see if there is any adjustments that I can help you with. Okay. So if there is anything on there, please ask now before our session does end, so you guys are letting me know, okay? So mainly, I think the issue that you guys are mostly having was that changing of that score. Yes, Barack, yes, I also know you as well. So I just marked you down as well, okay? You're just, guys, just remind me in the chat. Everybody is basically having the issue with your score being able to change, correct? Just make sure that you're letting me know that. So when I am trying to go find that issue of how we can adjust that, please just let me know. Yeah, so last, yes, on that. I know Busra, I think also you were having with the score. Betu, I think you might have had it. Just let me know. Yes, yes, okay, perfect. Everybody's good. Okay. Yes, your score is not working. Okay. Now, my question to you guys also that are having the difficulty with the score, I don't know if this is going to make any difference between on something. Now, were you guys drawing your paddle or did you import a paddle? I'm just trying to think out loud to see if that is one of those things that maybe it made a difference. So please let me know as well. Did you draw your paddle? Did you not do your paddle? Okay.
So
The tool.
I imported a paddle, then
Okay.
I drew on top of it because I didn't want it to be green. And I drew on top of it. And
Okay.
that's all.
You know what? That's good that you let me know that, because when I do try to test that out, I'm going to see if that makes a difference. That might be one of those things that I might say to you, you might only have to use that one symbol, that you might actually only draw your symbol or import it that way. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but I'm going to try that out. But thank you for letting me know on that.
Okay.
Okay. A seed? Yes. Do you have something to say?
Nothing works for me. I can only see my paddle.
Only your paddle. Now, are you able to see that pi symbol falling down or no?
No, I only just see it sticking out.
Really?
I don't
Okay.
see my paddle and a little
Yours,
my sign.
I mean, okay, so I'm going to definitely check yours on there. So I definitely want to see yours, because if yours, nothing is working, something is really incorrect. So guys, before we're just about to end, YB, hold on. Yes, YB.
I might know why my score isn't working.
Okay, what do you think is going on?
When my balls jump, they stop at like the place that goes all the way up, but you can still see them.
That might be an issue. Yeah, you might be right. That might be something wrong. Okay, but I definitely still want to check it out just to see if we're able to fix that, okay?
Okay.
All right, guys. So at this time, I do know who had issues on there. I am going to do our stop shared screen for a second. So this will be your last chance to let me know if there is anything else on there that you guys need. But I do know on the top of my head who was having difficulties with the scoreboard. I know there was one student that was definitely having an issue with everything. So that one I do want to make sure that we're getting to fix that issue, but most of you guys are having problems with the scoreboard. Busra, do you have something to say?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Is class over?
Class is going to be over just right now. Yes, it is.
Because I thought you were adding some stuff, so I was gonna ask, what did you add? I thought you were asking.
No, I didn't add anything to there. It's not going to be added until tomorrow. We're going to have a lot more time because it's going to be only one project that we're going to be doing. But if we have time, we can actually go back to this tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Tarek, you as well. Yours is not working as well, so I'm going to also include you as well to double check to see what is going on, okay? All right, so I am going to end our session for today. Now for tomorrow, just so you guys are aware, it is going to be a game day. So basically on Fridays when we do our session, it is going to be a lot of steps, but I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Basically, we are going to be drawing a maze. It's going to be a water maze where we're going to be using a lot of characters, and you guys are actually going to be drawing your maze the way that you want it to look. It is a lot of steps, guys, but we definitely will have time if we need to go back to this project or any of the other projects that you guys missed throughout this week, we can. Now, I am going to try to go back to finding that issue of changing that score by next Friday when we end that session. But for the students that were having difficulties, please remember to show me that project the last day. Unless I forget, just remind me so we can get those information. No problem. I'm glad you guys like it. So I will be ending it for now. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow, okay? Again, at the same time, and it is going to be a game day. So I think you're gonna like tomorrow. I'm going to say bye for now. See you guys tomorrow.